What is going on YouTube? Espresso Shucko here, and today I want to talk about Bellibolt. So Bellibolt is a pure electric type, which means its only weakness is ground, and then in terms of resistances, it resists electric and steel and flying. So everything else is pretty much neutral. Bellibolt has a great HP stat, so that those neutral type matchups doesn't really matter too much because its HP is great, its defenses are pretty good, so we can become a very bulky boy and go from there. So Bellibolt's got a few abilities here. The first one is a unique ability which is called Electromorphosis, which basically means if you take a direct hit, Bellibolt becomes charged, which charge is a condition that came. It's actually an old condition. It's been around since Generation 3, but basically when you become charged, your next electric type attack is going to do more damage. That's great because Bellibolt can repeatedly get charged, and one downside to charge, aside from having to use the move to get charged, actually that is the downside. This does not need to actually waste one of your move slots, which is great. Bellibolt's second ability is Static, which gives you a 30% chance of paralyzing Pokemon that make contact with Bellibolt. That's another solid ability. And then finally, its last ability is Damp, which basically prevents explosion from activating. So probably not going to be used a lot in competitive, but if you're shiny hunting and you're going after something that does learn any of those exploding moves, there's your ability right there. Happy hunting. What I was thinking about Bellibolt is it's really slow with a base 45 speed stat. We can run it on Trick Room. Maybe we want to do something like, say, Trick Room with Bulldoze, get a weakness policy off. Bellibolt gets Parabolic Charge, which is a phenomenal electric type move. Basically, even though it's only 65 base power, it recovers 50% of the damage it's done. Okay, cool. We're getting 50% damage done from one Pokemon. No, Parabolic Charge hits both of your opponents as well as your partner. So, Bellibolt has the potential to recover a lot of HP. The other thing I was thinking too is we can go Slack Off, which is basically just recover. You can heal up to 50% of your HP. We can also run Weather Ball for some damage. Maybe we want to run a Rain team. Maybe we slap Bellibolt there. Maybe we're running Sun, need electric type coverage. Bellibolt could also run Weather Ball. Torkoal is a really slow Pokemon that takes advantage of Trick Room and is a Sunsetter. There you go. Now you have Trick Room with Bellibolt for some coverage. The other thing too, instead of Weather Ball, is maybe you want to run Chilling Water. Oh, I hit the J instead. Maybe you want to run Chilling Water. It's a water type move. It's weak, but it's a guaranteed attack drop. Or maybe you want to run Muddy Water, which base 90 water type move, 85 accuracy, 30% chance to lower the target's accuracy one stage. Pretty good, all things considered. And you can also go maybe Hyper Voice. Base 90 normal type damage, and it hits both foes. That could be good too. So going back to the Trick Room Bulldoze idea, I was thinking between Girafarig and its evolution Farigiraf, we could go from there. I was thinking maybe Girafarig over Farigiraf, because while Farigiraf is a little bit more reliant with setting Trick Room because Armortail prevents priority moves from hitting it, so there's no Prankster Taunt coming our way. There's no heavy hitting damaging moves that come off a priority move coming our way. Girafarig might actually have a little bit more bulk thanks to the Eviolite, because while Farigiraf has 50 more HP in its base HP, Girafarig can get a 50% boost to each of its defenses. Farigiraf is at 70, Girafarig is at 65. So really, that's only 5 points of difference in their base stats. Factoring in EVs, you can get pretty tanky really quick. Case in point, just playing around with some EVs, I was able to get both its EVs up to 106 with max HP investment. That's an extra 53 points, so that's 159 in each defense plus the 177. So it can be bulky. So what I was thinking there is we can have Bulldoze there because Draft Rig's attack isn't necessarily the highest when you think about it, especially if you're running 0 IVs, you're at 85. Bellibolt's taking that Bulldoze, it's getting a +2 special attack boost from the weakness policy, and then it's likely healing things off. One downfall, though, is Girafarig is faster than Bellibolt, and even if you run max speed or minimum speed IVs, you're still sitting at 81 with a hindering nature. So maybe Farigiraf might actually be the way to go. We'll just double check right quick. With minimum, not maximum, we're sitting at 65. Bellibolt is sitting at 65. So that's maybe the only thing Farigiraf might have going for it. Is Farigiraf might be able to outspeed Bellibolt, but anyways, between Girafarig and Farigiraf, figure it out. Anyways, what I was also thinking too for Bellibolt is we could run a leftover set. I have 188 EVs into its HP to get us up to 208, and basically there with the leftovers we get 1/16 of our HP back. 208 just happens to be one of those perfect intervals right there where it doesn't break down to a decimal. So basically we're not losing out on any extra points potentially with the number rounding down. So we're going to get about 13 points back per leftovers. So we can run Protect there if we need to. We have Parabolic Charge. We have Thunderbolt for some damage, and then maybe Chilling Water more for some support than anything else. And what I was thinking too with both this Bellibolt and the weakness policy idea is maybe running Terra Electric or Terra Water could be pretty good, all things considered. Especially if you wanted to run like maybe Rain Weather Ball. Because really, Weather Ball matches the type of the weather. So if you're running a rain team, maybe you're already doubling in power based off Weather Ball's own effect, and then Weather Ball changes type to match that weather. So now if you're on rain, rain naturally boosts water type moves by 50% as well. If you Terra into Terra Water, you're now gaining stab on that, which can potentially hurt. You could also go Terra Electric and then double your stab. Now Parabolic Charge, despite being base 65, now you're looking at base 130 after your stab boost. That's great because you're getting all this HP back from hitting everything. So it's really nice, all things considered. Maybe between Terra Electric and Terra Water. And also, you can find a wild Terra Water Bellibolt in the overworld as well, around Casoria Lake, which is pretty nice, all things considered. And then finally, I was thinking maybe Assault Vest as well for an item, because we could run some points into our Bellibolt here and maybe run the 208 HP points, go max special attack, and then put whatever's left into our special defense stat or even our defense stat. We could even just go 113 and then raise our physical defense up to 120. We could do something like that and take advantage of the Assault Vest to patch things up. And then as far as damaging moves go, we can go Parabolic Charge, Thunderbolt, Chilling Water, and Hyper Voice. And then that way we're not completely walled out by Wide Guard. We still have two options, and we can still hit things as well to potentially break Focus Sashes, because if you don't have a Frisk user, you don't know what has the Focus Sash. Between Parabolic Charge and Hyper Voice, you're hitting both opponents on the field, because if they're immune to electric, great, you have Hyper Voice. If they're immune to normal, great, you have Parabolic Charge. Anyways, guys, and that's what I was mostly thinking with Bellibolt and I guess Girafarig and Farigiraf. Let me know what you think about Bellibolt down in the comments below. It's a great little squishy frog. And also, that small little smiley face right there. Just look at that face. Isn't that cute? Anyways, I will see you guys later.